Hi there, it's Deputy Nicole Reno with your next safety talk. We're going to talk today about online safety and cell phones. We're going to be talking today a little bit about social media, the monitoring of it, the future of it, deleting posts and pictures, and basic security. We're also going to cover a little bit about cell phones, your photos, texting and sexting, as well as spoofing. Although social media is not new, it's ever evolving. It started largely with 6 Degrees back in 1997 and was replaced mostly by MySpace pages in 2003. This allowed people to play their favorite music on their page. Facebook was started after the creator began a site to rate women at his college. When this was entangled in concerns through women's rights groups and administration, he began Facebook, which took off quickly in popularity in 2004. From there, massive platforms exploded with various types, purposes, and intents. Remember, multiple people are monitoring your social media use. School administrators, employers, parents, teachers and professors, predators and bullies, law enforcement, attorneys, the court system, coaches and activity advisors. What you do now will reflect on your future backgrounds. People who will looking to hire you want someone who is reflective of the standards of their organization. Monitoring is completely legal and does not violate your right to free speech. If it is posted or sent, it is considered public, with the exception of revenge porn, which we'll cover later. Changed or altered names are sometimes effective, however, can later disqualify you or can be grounds for dismissal if information that is not permitted comes to light later. There are a few questions you should ask yourself before posting anything online or sending to somebody over a text message. Would I want my parent or guardian to see this? How about my coach or teacher? Is posting or sharing this content helpful or hurtful to you or maybe someone else? Would you want a stranger seeing this image of you? Could this get you in trouble at home, in school, or with the law? How will this impact your future opportunities and scholarships, college admissions, future jobs, relationships? Would you want your grandparent to see this? How about your future kids? Remember, deleted posts and pictures can still be found on search engines online. We can delete it, but we can't get rid of it. We can use these questions to help determine if the actions we are about to take are healthy. If the answer to these questions is no, or you're unsure, then simply refrain from posting or sending the image or content. Defining what information is inappropriate may be tricky, but here's a good rule of thumb. If it can get you in trouble offline, it can probably get you in trouble online too. In order to limit misunderstandings, consider the following before posting. Would the adults in my life think this is appropriate? Could this get me into trouble at school or with the law? Who may be embarrassed or hurt by this content? Does it give any information about me or another person which should not be shared? What does this content say about the kind of person I am? Is this how I want to be seen? How could this impact my future opportunities? Truly, only you can decide what you do online, but trusted adults are here to help. How would you feel if it was your mom or dad in this post or image? Would that change things? When it comes to privacy online, social media included, just assume that you have none. Everything that's posted is saved forever. Fake accounts are used by law enforcement as well as predators and bullies. Just be careful out there. A few safety tips when we're talking online is to make sure that we only talk to people, include them in our social media platforms, or accept them when you've met them in person, when you know that they truly exist and that this is their account. Fake accounts are created by all sorts of people with different intents. Law enforcement uses it in multiple capacities, as well as predators and bullies. Keep your security settings to the most private options. You do not need to be oversharing online. If you wouldn't share it in person, it shouldn't be shared online. Spoofing is a way to create a confusion of sorts. You can change your phone number online. You can change your name online. Just be careful out there and make sure you know who you're talking to. Be aware of what you post online. Everything is public and permanent. You may think it's deleted and it's gone, but it is not. If people see a post before you delete it, they can still criticize you about it or bring it up. One study says that more than half of teens have edited or deleted something they have posted in the past. This is according to a study done in 2013, Teens, Social Media, and Privacy. Beware of friend requests, follows, or whatever other trendy word is used. Do not add people you do not know, even if you have mutual friends. It can be very dangerous and it is not safe. If you have not met them in person, they shouldn't be your friend or follow you on social media. According to the study, 1/3 of Facebook friends have people they have not met in person. Only add friend requests or send them if you are friends and are comfortable with seeing your content. If you aren't going to stop and chat with them in the hallways or at the grocery store or the mall, don't add them on social media. Do not update your location or check in on social media. This allows people to know where you are and where you are not, and can lead to stalking. Ask yourself if you really want all your followers to know where you are. Never post that you are home alone or elsewhere alone, or that your house is empty while on vacation. A good rule of thumb is to post vacation pictures when you return home. Understand the apps that you are using. Snapchat, for example, has always said that your image disappears. But now we know that it can be screenshot, screen recorded, or otherwise saved. There are workarounds in almost every app. If it's a new app, the workaround will be short behind. Keep your personal information private. Only communicate with people you know. Only share information you are proud of. Report to a trusted adult about any texts, pictures, sex, or videos that make you uncomfortable. Use manual controls to prevent automatic public Wi-Fi connections. This helps you decrease online hacking significantly. If you have questions, remember to ask a trusted adult. Sexting, by definition, is sending a sexually explicit image via electronic means, typically via social media or text messages. Some examples are nude or nearly nude photos or selfies, videos showing nudity, sexual acts, or simulated sex, text messages that propose sex to or refer to sexual acts. Many stories about sexting result when one photo goes global. According to one journal of health, a 15-year-old girl sent sexually explicit images of herself via cell phone to a 16-year-old male, which legally meant this boy was in possession of child pornography. Dowell, 2009. The crime may have gone unnoticed, but detectives reported he did not keep the photo to himself. He sent them to friends in his address book, and images landed in an unknown number of phones and computers. This caused him to be guilty of distribution of child pornography, a very serious offense. We work with NCMEC, or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, all the time for images known to our area or to locate victims. These images pop up for years. Be careful on what you share. Many sexually explicit images are illegal. They're illegal to both possess as well as to create. To pass an image that was meant for one person to another that is sexual in nature is considered revenge porn is also illegal. It recently went through the Court of Appeals in Minnesota, and it is upstanding, which means that it is a law and many will now be prosecuted. Teens sext for a variety of reasons. Some are in a loose relationship. They're not dating, but they're hooking up, interested in one another, or considered friends with benefits. Some do it as a prank, joke, or dare. Some are flirting and are trying to impress a crush. A local North Dakota study found that teens are typically trying to turn someone on, to feel cool or show off. They feel pressured into doing it, or are bored. A request to sex might make you feel flattered, angry, pressured, and scared. Pressured sexters are more likely to report engaging in cyberbullying, anxiety, and dating violence. They are also more likely to report pictures seen by one or more other people when it was intended for a single person. There are multiple legal consequences for this kind of behavior, specifically falling under child pornography, as well as self-esteem and emotional consequences. Police can confiscate family computers and cell phones when investigating your involvement in sexting. This case will fall under child pornography laws and results in up to 3 felony charges: possession, distribution of, and promoting child pornography. Promoting is taking the photo, even if it's of oneself. Sexting can have strong emotional consequences, often resulting in cyberbullying, and this harassment may devastate reputations and result in low self-esteem. It usually does not stay with the intended receiver. Most are viewed by others, and many more are shared electronically. They are impossible to erase. They may pop up in the future and continue to haunt teens for years. Deleting the electronic blueprint is impossible. Individuals may copy and share it. Once this begins, you are powerless to stop the situation. Once NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, finds images on the web and dark web, they are identified for decades. To avoid this, avoid taking and sending or posting explicit images or racy comments. Several articles in the news recently include 15-year-old Iowa teen was arrested and referred to juvenile court on suspicion of extortion after uploading nude photos girls had sent him in an effort to get them to send more. Next, a 15-year-old Texas teen was sent to an alternative school for a month for showing another student a nude image he received while on school grounds. And yet another, a 16-year-old Georgia teen was suspended for 6 days after tweeting a revealing photo that a classmate posted to his Facebook page. The school suspended him on bullying violations. And in Minnesota, a Minnesota man sentenced to sextortion case relating to 40 females. You sent the video, you sent the sext, so now what? Maybe you fell in love, maybe it was a joke or a dare, maybe you were pressured into it, maybe you didn't feel like you had a choice at all. But either way, do what you can to mitigate it. Get it removed from the website, stop it from spreading, get the emotional support, deal with the bullies, and don't give up. There's always options. Once an image or a video is out of your hands, it's out of your control. You can stay in control before it ever gets to that point. Don't take images or videos that you wouldn't want anyone else to see. Don't forward pictures or videos that were meant for you to anyone else. Imagine how betrayed you would feel if someone did that to you. Don't ask anyone to send these kinds of images. Most teens say that they sent the image because a boyfriend, girlfriend, or crush asked them to do that. You shouldn't ask anyone to do these kinds of behaviors, especially if you care about them. Talk to a trusted adult if you have sent an image, you've received an image, or are being pressured to sending one. They can help you make the right choice. Here's a little tip via the Dating Bill of Rights. As a partner, you have the right to ask for a date, to refuse a date, to be treated with respect always. Not sometimes, always. To choose and keep your friends. Tell your partner when you need affection. To refuse affection. To change your mind at any time. This is not a caveat if you've made a decision or if you've agreed to a behavior and then you have second thoughts. You can change your mind at any time. You are allowed to leave a relationship at any time. To be treated as equal. To refuse any sexual act at any time for any reason. As a boyfriend and girlfriend, you also have a responsibility. You have to determine your limits and values. You need to communicate clearly and honestly with your partner. To ask for help when you need it. To not humiliate or demean your boyfriend or girlfriend in any way. to refuse to abuse. This is physically, sexually, and emotionally. To care for yourself. No one can care for you like you can. To respect your boyfriend and girlfriend, and to be honest with one another. Being a teenager has always been tricky, but now, given the social media and the access to platforms to send and receive images, it has gotten even trickier. So remember, there's always options out there, and there are people who care about you and are wanting to help you. Now, there will be a short video to kind of help you explain from teens your own age.
I'm not totally sure why a lot of times girls would want to send pictures like that or send that kind of text.
Why do I think people send nudes?
To showboat.
Sometimes people do it because they want to. Sometimes people don't want to do it and they feel like they've been pressured into it.
If their friends are doing it and their friends are like telling them they should do it, they can just send the picture.
Most guys don't think about the consequences that girls have.
Sometimes you send that picture because you want someone to tell you that you're beautiful. And that's another form of obligation.
Once you do anything online, it doesn't go away. So if you send a picture like that, it's not going to go away.
So if you send to somebody a nude photo of you and then they don't keep it themselves, they make it like viral on social media.
I've seen people that did something they thought was justified in 8th grade and have it be affected their senior year of high school.
I think everybody at some point has been shown that scare you out of sexting newspaper story where some girl sent nudes to her boyfriend and then her ex-best friend got her hands on it and sent it to the whole school.
When a nude gets leaked, it's like your family gonna see it. Different people you don't even know is screenshotting you. The picture that you sent to this one person is never gonna go away. It's never, you know what I'm saying? You're just stuck with it.
I think it's sad and weird at the same time. They're feeling pressure from not one singular person that they can say no to. They would have to say no to all of society.
You spend a lot of time receiving all these images of what you should look like. And so sometimes I feel like it comes from a place of wanting to show off. Not your body necessarily, but the fact that you're comfortable or confident enough to do it.
For a guy, they might think it's cool or you got her to send the picture, but for her, it's like, okay, my whole body is all over the internet now. Everybody's seeing me.
There definitely is a double standard when it comes to the situation of sexting between boys and girls. The guys are put on a pedestal in situations like this, but the girls are demonized for it.
Getting busted for sexting is more embarrassing for girls than guys.
It's so easy as a female to get your reputation thrown away because of one simple mistake that you didn't even think was a mistake.
No, it's not fair, but they hold girls to a different standard than guys. That's just the world we live in.
Sexting, it's an embarrassing topic, but it should not be embarrassing to talk about because people need to know what it is and what to do to not do it.
When you are interested in someone or when you like someone or when you want someone to like you and you feel that sending pictures of yourself is the best way to do that, maybe it's time to reevaluate why you really care so much about this person.
When you're in middle school or when you're younger, you're gonna feel these emotions that you're not gonna feel in a year or 2 years.
That's what leads to people sending nudes is when someone else trusts another person, so they would send the picture to them. The trust breaks after their picture gets leaked.
I think people think that the relationships that they're in have a lot of trust and that the relationships are going to last forever. But then when the relationship falls apart, which it usually does, is that those pictures get sent around to everyone. And I've heard countless stories of that happening.
I think the biggest consequence is you lose some sort of trust with the person you were sending it to. And I think that that's really sad.
Remember, it comes down to respect for yourself and for others. Remember, we all have value. If you need anything, you know where to find me.